Ron Mark, question number 6.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by all his statements?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
On behalf of the Prime Minister, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Prime Minister, how does he stand by his 2012 statement which says, quote, "We are a relatively cheap and easy place to set up a company in, but it is obviously important that we preserve our international reputation," end of quote, when gun runners, money launderers continue to register New Zealand companies and trusts?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, of course the Prime Minister stands by his statement. It's actually probably quite a few New Zealanders whose background may be questionable who are quite legally able to register companies in New Zealand.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question. Order. Order. Supplementary question, Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Prime Minister, is Dunedin-based Incom Trustees Limited and its sole New Zealand director, Nicholas Franken, preserving our international reputation by helping to hide the assets of indicted gambling billionaire Calvin Ayre?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have no idea, but with respect to New Zealand's international reputation, there is no evidence for the assertions of the opposition that New Zealand's reputation for tax policy and transparency is in question. It isn't. We have one of the tightest set of tax rules around foreigners in the developed world, and we're rated consistently very highly on transparency, but we're always keen to improve it where it's required.
Not next year. Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Ron Mark.
Now, Mr. Speaker, I am aware of the rulings with respect to documents that have been published.
Can I just have the point of order, please?
Bearing in mind that the government, to assist the government regarding Mr. could I seek leave to table the New Zealand First research on Incom Trustees Limited and Calvin Ayre, which we conducted this morning?
No, I'm not prepared to put the leave, and I asked the member to have a look at Speaker's ruling 1651. I did allow it yesterday. I had a look at the material which subsequently was tabled. I don't think it informed the House in any significant way at all. 1651 states that a document must be from an authentic source. It is not acceptable in this House to seek to table members' own views of the fact or documents annotated to substantiate those views. Documents prepared in parties' own research units or documents prepared by members are not material envisaged under Standing Order 377.
Point of order, then.
Point of order, Ron Mark.
Then, to assist the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister understand Mr. Ayre and the Dunedin-based company, can I seek leave to table a newspaper report?
No, the member cannot. Supplementary question, Ron Mark.
Try and be helpful. To the Prime Minister, what does it mean for our international reputation when the government of Macedonia is trying to liquidate another Nicholas Franken company, New Zealand company, Guardian Fiduciary Services Limited, a company with links to convicted money launderers and fraudsters?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think our advice is that if there's any tax issues or transparency issues on which the Macedonian government wants assistance, then IRD is ready, willing and able to provide the information that is required. The only issue ahead of us is whether that should be done automatically and whether some of that information should be on some kind of public register or publicly available. But there is no question mark over New Zealand's reputation.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Prime Minister then. What investigations has the Prime Minister made in the 24 hours since we asked him for assurance that foreign-owned companies here are not involved in gun running, people smuggling, money laundering or financing terrorism?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, any such investigations would be carried out by the appropriate authority rather than the Prime Minister. If there's taxation issues, that'll be IRD. If Interpol raise issues with the New Zealand Police, they will be fully compliant with any requests, but it isn't necessarily the obligations of our authorities to be policing Macedonian activities.
Question number 7.